News, everybody. News. Oh man, Ryan, the hits keep coming, Ryan. They just
These
keep coming.
news segments, bro. It's every week, dude. This
Every
TMNT
week.
stuff.
Like it's a great time.
It's honestly kind of wild, actually. Like,
Yeah.
this might wind up being like when the tale's told. When you really go back and look at it, this might all be is actually like the beginning of the fourth wave.
That's what
like,
I'm thinking.
The hype up for the Seth Rogen movie, and then like maybe like an announced like cartoon that we based off of that feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe this is the beginning of like a oh god, I can't say Viacom anymore because they're Paramount. Are they going under the Paramount name now or something?
I don't know because I think on some of the
like
images
that.
I have, I think Viacom is still on there, but I could be mistaken.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get ahead of the curve. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
that dude calling Paramount Viacom because I'm that guy. But we might look back and say that all this crazy wave of like the figures and what we're going to cover tonight and all this stuff was really the forebearing of this massive fourth wave of the franchise. But
yeah,
it feels like it, and it's weird because there's no running like show. There's like, it's odd, but we got new games. We got this, which is like, grabbing those old games. We got like, it's a wild time, and every week on this show we're talking about some extra new stuff that's coming out.
Oh yeah.
So like, it's a great time to be a TMNT fan.
Oh, absolutely.
It's getting offered up to you on a plate, man. Like it's the most activity. I'll be honest, if you don't count like TMNT pepperoni sticks, you know what I'm saying? Like from the 90s where it's like, yeah, TMNT vanilla pudding pies. Like if you don't count that kind of those releases, you know what I'm saying? Pre-order your case of pudding pies today. You know, if you don't count that, this might honestly even rival the first wave with how much stuff we're seeing. So it's insane.
It's up there. It's definitely getting there. And speaking about being served up on a plate, our good friend Chris Garvey over on our Facebook group served this up to us and made us. I did not know about this until
up from the cellar.
Yeah, maybe. Exactly. Yes. And I didn't know about it until I saw it on the group. And so we're going to talk about it. So this is the Cowabunga Collection, if you hadn't heard what we're talking about. Came out yesterday that Konami is putting out a collection of video games. I believe there are 13 games to be exact. And from the 8-bit, 16-bit arcade TMNT era from the 90s, essentially. And they let's see what else does it say? I'm reading off of the press release, essentially, is what I got. So yeah, 13 games, and their Japanese versions will be coming to PS5, PS4, Xboxes, Nintendo Switch, what is that? Oh, Steam. It's going to be coming to Steam. And there's going to be physical and digital versions that will be available sometime in 2022. And it's going to be
sometime this year. Okay.
Yeah, sometime this year at around $40. So
we're almost done with Q1, and they're just announcing this.
Exactly. So
this must be like way far down the pipe. As far as like ready to go.
Right. So let's see if I can plug in the TV and the VCR over here. We can take a look at the actual trailer that they showed us, and they sent it to us here at the Turtle Soup News Organization.
We're the only people that they sent it to.
Yeah, we got a physical tape because
like a worldwide exclusive, really.
Right. So okay, here we go. I got it set up. So all right, let's see what this does. All right. Oh geez.
Gonna blow y'all out. Well, that's better.
One shell of a time. Okay, so they got the save, rewind, and okay, that's legit.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that in a second. All those games. That's so many games. Oh, they put the lid on it. You know what I'm saying?
They put the lid on it. Oh man! All right.
So, yeah. So what you're seeing is, and we have all the games here. You want me to read them out?
Yeah, if you don't mind.
Okay. So this contains the list so far is TMNT Arcade Classic, TMNT Turtles in Time, the TMNT NES game. That's where you get that shocking the shocking seaweed. You know what I'm saying? Like that's where you get that tech. TMNT 2 arcade game, TMNT 3 Manhattan Project, TMNT Tournament Fighters. You get the 4 version of Turtles in Time for Super Nintendo. Then Tournament Fighters Super Nintendo. So they're giving you both versions because they do have different characters and stuff in them between Tournament Fighters between NES and Super Nintendo.
Oh, and Genesis, all of them.
And Genesis, yeah. You got the Hyperstone Heist, the Tournament Fighters for Sega Genesis. Follow the Foot Clan Game Boy, which, bro.
Yeah.
I played that Follow the Foot Clan, bro, back on Game Boy. It was real. Like it was hours and hours. Back from the Sewers on Game Boy and Radical Rescue on Game Boy. All of these games we have reviewed.
We have.
And the big thing, the thing I saw you alluded to it as well on the during the trailer is like huge quality of life stuff. So you got save anytime. So you basically save states, rewind, and button mapping. Button mapping is gigantic.
Yeah.
Of all those things, save states is huge, and the button mapping is gigantic because like you're gonna be like clobbering dudes. Now my thing is, man, if I really hope that like that button mapping is global. Like I really hope you don't set it for every game. It should be global, but like because that would be the final piece of that puzzle. Like go in once and you're like, nah, man, my attacks are like this,
right?
And maybe each game has its own a few other commands that you need to like button map, but like that's exciting. Like just being able to play all those games all in one place. Brought up to the quality they deserve to be, and with save states there, so you're not like
absolutely
having to play that old game. You know
absolutely.
Like,
and if you've never played, if you've never played, it's emulated versions of these games. Because back in the early 2000s, like when everyone started getting their own computers, like in their rooms or whatever, kids were like finding out about emulators, and it became more widespread. Yeah, that was one of the best things was save states, like. Oh, because playing these Nintendo games for a lot of us that grew up with it, either you saw it at a friend's house and you couldn't finish playing the game because you had to, you're only there to hang out with while your parents were there or whatever the case was, and so you never got to see the end or certain stages. And other times you'd have a game and it would be so hard, like Nintendo hard, known notoriously as a thing that you would never be able to finish some of those games. So to be able to even just, some people might say it's cheating, but like if you just want to see the art that's there and the experience of it, it did wonders for me. Like I loved that. Like I have so many great memories of playing like emulated games that I never got to play, and I could get to proceed to the next level through save states. And that was awesome. And I think I've got I've got the Mega Man game for the Mega Man collection on Switch, and it has a rewind function, and I abused the hell out of that because those awesome. NES Mega Man games are very difficult. So that was legit. And now I think so it says that there's going to be online play, Ryan. And that's really clutch, and that seems like a no-brainer these days. But apparently, it's a thing sometimes that they don't do it. So it's really good that they're doing it with this because now, these were the games that we played as kids, like on the couch. Like you'd have people come over, and that was
it was that whatever couch co-op kind of like beginning of that.
Absolutely, totally. And so that's. So there's that, and then the thing that I'm really excited about, and I hope that the physical version actually comes with a physical actual booklet, like it says it will.
Oh, please!
For a digital booklet or digital game guide, as they call it, that's going to help for each title. They're going to have it for all kinds of information, which is legit because if you haven't seen or heard our previous episodes where we've reviewed these games. There's gold in those manuals, and hopefully they could reprint those.
I hope they're not rewritten. I hope that they just reprint like the original game manuals because you gotta see like New York's premier Kickman. I mean, like this is all stuff that like you need to have like intact.
Oh yeah,
to make it all work out.
Oh yeah, And yeah, and then the other content that it comes with is never before seen development art, sketches, game design material, and loads of imagery from across TMNT history. And it's going to be all curated in like a museum-esque style special gallery kind of thing. And a lot of these collections, like Capcom's done it for Mega Man and Street Fighter and stuff like that. And it's really neat, especially to preserve the history of these games that hold such a special place in a lot of our hearts. And like having seen this trailer and all the talk about this game, I just was like reminded of like seeing the artwork, the cover for Turtles 2, the arcade game with the skateboards and then busting out the brick wall. That triggers so many good feelings for me, because something about that, just I see that and I know I'm going to have a good time. Like I know that I'm going to enjoy the hell out of this. Whoever I'm with, this is going to be fun.
Yeah.
And it was like the epitome of good times, if I can, coin that together with that. But yeah, I'm really excited about it. And the other thing that they make note to mention is that it gets a little confusing, and so I hope I don't mess this up, because I was trying to do some digging and find out like the different regional variants that were in each game, and all I could really find was a couple things. We'll get into it, but they say that there's 11 Japanese regional versions in total. The actual text that they sent out, the press release, that's the word I was looking for, says no Japanese versions for TMNT Arcade, which is Turtles 2 the arcade, and TMNT Tournament Fighters NES, because I don't believe those two games, if I'm not mistaken, they were not over in Japan, or they didn't, something like that. They didn't exist over there, or if they did, it was like very limited on one of those.
On that family computer. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, the Famicom. Oh yeah. Now the differences, the notable ones that I could find without doing too much research, was that the NES game, the first Turtles, the first NES game here in America, April is considered Splinter's daughter in the translation in the Japanese version, and that's amazing. It's also not
far off.
I know, right? It's not it's not even actually titled Ninja Turtles, like branded at all, because at that point they didn't have the cartoon or any other video games. This was their first like interaction with the Turtles. And it's called like the Legend of the Turtle Ninja or something like that. And so that's pretty neat. Then TMNT Arcade, all the Pizza Hut references are removed, and there's glitched sprites and different things were cleaned up. But the other thing and this has been a thing that I remember telling our friend Father Preston about this, and the way that American games deal with like just the different ethos between like manufacturers and arcade machines. Whereas, but I think this was in reference to like the X-Men game, the Pride of the X-Men game, where if you did your mutant ability, you lost life too. Like you had the ability to do it, but if you did any special move, and the same thing with these Turtles games, you would lose some of your health. Only in America, I always heard that in Japan, like, no, that wasn't a thing. You didn't you weren't punished for using this thing that was really cool. And so I believe that that's going to be in the Japanese versions of these games as well. And so there's that. And then we have the stuff that that's been known that was different in the NES version, or excuse me, the SNES version of Tournament Fighters, where the character Asaka's outfit is more revealing in Japan. Her animation, her win animation is different, and apparently, I guess I didn't really remember this, but the turtles sound more like teenagers in this game, and they have different character icons. So those were the big notable things that I could find. But it's neat that they exist and that we're going to get them. And hopefully, if there's more, let us know. Email us turtlesoupshow@gmail.com or put it in the comments. But then the only other thing that like I really was interested in, which I hope that they're keeping a little bit like. I don't think. Well, now that I've done some research, I know that they won't do it because it's too different. That's the thing I hate about things you love from the past, is that licensing ruins everything, because you can't have things like, we don't have a legit Muppet Babies DVD set because of stupid licensing deals. So one of the best like kid/adolescent shows ever made, Pete and Pete, is not currently produced or licensed to be made. Because
of probably music licensing. Has got the show screwed up. So like, I can't show that to my kids. And so it's like awful. It's like stupid.
Well, like thankfully my wife was able to pick up the first 2 DVD sets when they were able to eke it out like real quick, because I don't think they made the third one.
Yeah.
And because of what you're talking about, I'm pretty sure that's why.
Yeah.
So thankfully we got it, because if you haven't seen Pete and Pete, what's wrong with you? You got to go see Pete and Pete. It's fantastic.
I might have to do a big bar of steel.
Right. So
my kids are at the right age now, like to watch that show. And like that's an important thing that needs to happen. So
it's wonderful. Well, so the thing I was wanting to say was that I was hoping, before I looked into any of this, I was like, oh, it would be amazing if they could put the reshelled version of Turtles in Time that came out, I forget when it came out, somewhere around 2007, like 2008, 9, somewhere in there. And it's but that was back when Ubisoft had the license. And so this is obviously Konami, who's had the license. Let's see, I think they had it, in the beginning, and then they had it up till around, I think, 2005 or 6, because they did the 2003 4 Kids Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles video games and whatnot, and on the GameCube and stuff like that. But then Ubisoft got it around 2007. Then Activision got the license in 2013, and they put out some pretty fun games for the Turtles. And now I think it's I forget who it has it now. Because I'm not sure if the people that are doing Shredder's Revenge actually hold the whole license, or if it's just a small thing of it, like a little section out thing. But yeah. So nevertheless, what you're getting is a ton of stuff, and for $40, that's not bad. So like that's legit. And I know that somebody on the Facebook group was talking about how they hoped that it came with a steelbook, and I'm like, oh yeah, if it comes with a steelbook, that'd be legit.
I mean, sure.
That's just awesome.
Yeah.
So
what if it came in an arcade cabinet?
Well,
but yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so that's exciting. So that's coming out this year supposedly, along with a game that's basically the modern version of that. Shredder's Revenge is supposed to happen this year.
The modern platform fighter. So like. That's a ton. I do love that this is coming out, and this kind of locks these games in stone in the next generation. You're not worried about emulators. You're not worried about trying to play around with it. Like it sounds like a really the value's there. I can't see how for $40 you can now definitely need to get that.
The only thing that I'm kind of, and I understand because of technology limitations and stuff, but it's not like. From what we saw on the TV, it's the aspect ratio is not, because they can't. It gets all messed up, at least from my limited understanding of it. So it can't be full screen necessarily, and so they have the border that has the cover box.
All those games are output at 4:3. Like that's just every game.
Yeah.
Like.
So it's just
you don't want it stretched to widescreen. So trust me. So I
you
think
don't.
That's a big part of it. Yeah, you don't.
Yeah, because they'd have to recreate everything, and that's just not cost effective. As cool as it would be, but hopefully it'll be good enough. And I don't know. I'm curious if like with the Switch's screen size, if like on that there might be an option to like maybe fudge that a little bit to if you wanted to.
Maybe I don't
possibly.
know,
it's not ideal, but.
It's not. Aspect ratio is like a real thing. Like it really matters. Like I mean, anybody who owned a Wii when they had an SD TV and then got an HD TV and plugged your Wii in, you realize your Wii's worthless because it turns out aspect ratio is very important.
Yeah.
Like I mean, is gonna feel that in these games if they try to mess them up, or not mess them up, but try to alter them to be. And we're not talking about this isn't remastered. Like they touched some things and they added some global controls and they definitely had to rein them all in. But they're not the sell on this is not that these games are remastered.
Yeah, no.
And nowadays remastered game pretty much means remade game. Like I mean that's the word for remaster now is like they don't throw that term around lightly.
Right.
Unless you're Rockstar and you put out that GTA,
that GTA,
that San Andreas Vice City pack, which they just they call that a remaster, and that's just sad.
That was rough.
Unless you're Rockstar trying to bilk people out of a bunch of nostalgia feels, if you're remastering, you're going into the guts so deep that you might as well it's like remaking the game.
Mm-hmm.
Here, I think the idea is these are old school. You know the story here. This is for people that want a bunch of value from these games and don't want to play with like unstable emulators and stuff like that. Like this is like legit. And if you can find it, buy it. You know what I'm saying? We hear Troll Soup say that. So I mean,
Absolutely.
like if you're playing these games, like I mean, pay the people that brought them to you. You know what I mean?
Totally.
Like and play it. I'm really excited. I think the thing I'm most excited about too is global stuff. Just like global save states, rewind on all the games. Like that's sick. Because you're right. Like some of these games can get Nintendo hard.
Oh yeah.
Like I mean, the NES TMNT game is infamous.
Mm-hmm. Even after you get past the seaweed part.
Once you get past the seaweed to be 100, it just gets way more crazy and confusing.
Yeah,
you're fighting 800. You're fighting 800 Rat Kings. You know what I mean? Like who knows who Rat King is?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's wild. You know, all of a sudden like it was Kevin Spacey the whole time. You know what I mean? So you have no idea what's going on in that game. So rewinds are gigantic, and global rewind and global, hopefully global control mapping is a big thing. So absolutely. I'm excited. I mean, if for $40, I'll be day and date on that.
You know what I mean? Totally.
This year, like I said, they must have really pulled some stuff together because that was kind of big kept secret.
Mm-hmm.
For them to come out now, we're almost through Q1. And they're acting like 2022 is a real thing. So we'll see. But I'm excited.
Yeah, I am too. And so, are you excited about these? Like, which game are you the most excited about? And I want to know if if there's any other differences that you can tell us about. Like, I want to know about all those so that I can look forward to them in the Japanese versions. And let us know. Email us turtlesoupshow@gmail.com. Leave a comment below. And let us know how you're feeling about this and where you're at. And if hopefully enough of us buy this, Konami will then also put out the 4Kids 2003 era Turtles games too, because I have a faint memory of enjoying them, but like I could be wrong, and that could just be nostalgia speaking. But those were fun if I recall correctly. So yeah, hopefully that'll lead to more releases like this. And if we get enough, maybe we can somehow convince Ubisoft to let the just be like, oops, here's a download for reshelled. Who knows? But anyway, again, let us know. turtlesoupshow@gmail.com, and we'll be back with more news as it comes in. So catch you on the Prime side. Else time.